Hello everyone and welcome back to PC Guys Off-Grid-Cabin, where the work is never done but we're doing it just for fun. So me and Mrs. PC Guy are back at it again, and we got a little project that we're working on today I want to show you. Now, if you recall a few episodes ago, we tested out a water heater up here. It was a Hype Crew water heater, and we had two of them, and both of them they had malfunctions. They kept overheating. One of them, it had an alarm come on it and said it overheated. Well, it wouldn't go off even after it had set a couple of hours. The machine was junk. We sent it back to Amazon, got another one, and tested it. Well, High Crew, according to their own book, says it will heat up to 125 degrees. And if it got above 110, it would immediately malfunction, say it was overheating. Okay, obviously that's not going to work. Okay, we sent it back, and it took Amazon about 3 weeks before they decided to do a refund on it. So I tossed around some different ideas, and I want to show you what we finally came up with, and we're trying out today. Right here is a Camplux outdoor water heater. Yes, they say it's outdoors, but you have to understand that sometimes you do things that, well, they do things on the cautious side, okay? And we do intend to put a carbon monoxide alarm in here, crack a window open and stuff like that, so that there's no chance of fumes building up in here. So we're testing it out. Now, in order for this thing to work, you got to have an external pump with it. So let me start by showing you the pump. Mrs. PC Guy about fell and busted her rear end, which is not unusual. That is a Shurflo 110 volt pump that's plugged into the solar array. Now, it's running right now, and as you can tell, it's not making a whole lot of noise. I mean, you could hear it running, but it's not just totally roaring like a freight train or anything. So what we've done is, in our little tub, there's a bulkhead fitting there. I ran a hose off of it, and I'm going to show you a little something on this valve back here in just a minute when I move over to it, because that valve is actually pretty cool. So water's coming off the tub, through the bulkhead fitting, down to the pump, and up to our Camplux. And when I pulled that out of the water, you can see the steam coming off of it. That water is hot. That water is very hot. In fact, I almost can't keep my hand under it for very long. But you can see the steam coming off of it.
Yep.
So it must be doing something pretty good. This is a very rudimentary test, okay? And we just rigged up just enough to test it out and see if it'll work. I've got a little minor leak I got to fix on one of the fittings, and that's understandable. Propane tanks. Let's talk about propane tanks. This is not recommended to have this propane tank in here. I know that, and if you've got any experience with propane, you know this is not recommended either. Again, it's just a test to see, does it work, does it not work. Once we get everything and all the kinks worked out of it, we'll drill a hole in the wall We'll run the hose outside, put the tank outside where it belongs. It's one of those cases of don't do as I do, do as I say. Okay? Don't do this. Like I say, this is a test that we're doing just to see, it's proof of concept. Okay? If it works, and so far it looks like it's working, then we'll take and we'll go in and we'll do some things here. We'll run a more permanent hose. Actually, what I may do is come off this with a metal line, put a valve on it, and run it over here so that it actually runs kind of like a standard house bathtub. So I don't particularly like this. But again, it's just a test. But so far, it looks good. Now, I'm going to have Mrs. PC Guy walk around here, and I want you to see this.
If I can do it without tripping.
Yeah, we got, you know, it's working. But if you see the sight glass here, oh, that's actually warm. But you can actually see the flames in there. If Mrs. PC Guy will focus, but yeah, you can actually see it. Let's get up here a little closer where the viewers can see. See there, you got.
There we go.
There you go. But it's working. Now I'm going to show you something else here, because again, when I do these videos, I'm trying to teach you something and trying to show you. Sometimes we do these videos and it winds up being a video of what not to do. But I'm going to show you this little fitting here, because this is something that you actually need to know if you're going to buy one of these Camplux water heaters. I have here a fitting in my hand. I don't know why that piece of plastic was on there. The water inlet and outlet on this thing is not standard. Okay, in the United States they use National Pipe Standard pipe threads. The Camplux is not threaded to National Pipe Standard. It's actually half-inch British standard. Now, what's the difference between half-inch National Pipe threading and British? Simply put, it's the angle that they cut the threads in there. Now, can you stick a standardized fitting on there and make it work? Maybe. But I wouldn't do it because it's subject to leak. So I have here a brass fitting. Amazon sells these. Now what it is on this end is British half-inch. The other end is National Pipe Thread Standard. And I'll put a link in the description for this fitting. But you don't want to use one of those Camplux heaters without it using this adapter. Yeah, I know it's kind of silly, but that's what it is. It's the only way to hook it up and make sure it ain't gonna leak. So there's your little tidbit on this thing. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop videoing for the time being, and we're gonna let this thing run for a while and just run it through its paces, see what happens, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you, yeah, yay, it's a success, or nope, something went wrong, it ain't worth a flip, and we're going to have to start over from scratch. Hopefully that's not the case. So, it'll be just a second for you guys, and might be an hour or two for me. Okay, so this thing's been running for about 30 minutes, and I want you to see this. If Mrs. PC Guy will point the camera down here at the water, there is steam coming off that thing. And Take a look at that. You tell me that water ain't getting hot. That's putting out plenty of steam. And I'm looking forward to trying it out. A couple things I want to show you right quick here. I'm going to actually turn the machine off and unplug it so that I can show you this stuff. If Mrs. PC Guy will come around here. First of all, these Shurflo pumps do not have a cord with them. They don't come with a cord. And I was intending on buying an extension cord to hook up to this thing. Well, I forgot it. So I just had to rig up something. That's why there's a piece of Romex cable there. That is not something I intend to take and leave that way. The other thing on this pump, I'm going to bring this pump up here where you can see it. These fittings right here, that's actually getting a little warm. Amazon does sell these fittings. I highly recommend that if you're going to use one of these Shurflo pumps, to use these fittings on here. You don't want to try to thread something else on there, because it'll otherwise it's subject to leak. Now I'm going to get back here. I may have to take a flashlight to show you this. Because I want to be able to drain this system out. If you notice right here where my finger is, I hope that you can see this. There's actually a little fitting right there. Mrs. PC Guy may have to zoom in on that so that... that fitting on that little valve, you can actually open that up and drain the water out of that thing, which is a good thing. I actually didn't know that they made a valve that way until I got into Lowe's yesterday and was looking for that valve. I was just looking for a standard ball valve. And I saw that and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Let's try that out. Because since we don't live up here full time, we do not want to leave water in this system and then run the risk of us having a hard freeze up here. A hard freeze will bust that thing, and that's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to right now say that our rudimentary test on this thing was a success. Time will tell whether it's going to be a long-term success or not. But so far, it looks like to me this thing is working very, very well. Mom, I have a dog.
Yep.
He probably wants to go outside because that's what dogs want to do. So, I do appreciate my viewers watching. And remember to hit that notification bell. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't, because those will really reward the effort that we put in to bring you these videos. And we show you our honest opinion on something. When we fired this thing up, we didn't know if it's going to work or not. So, we shoot the video, we try it out, and you learn pretty much at the same time that I learned. And leave us a comment down there. And if you can't think of anything really, really cool to say, just say, shut up, stupid. Yeah, actually, even if you just leave a comment and say, shut up, stupid, it actually helps the channel to grow. We appreciate you watching. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We love our viewers, and we thank you for watching. Till next time.